Everyone, Cathy Zielske here. Welcome to my second version of Crafty Design, 10-minute design chats for crafty people. I am trying a whole new setup this week, and hopefully I am coming through loud and clear. I'm going to let this run for just a second here so that we can have a few people pop in. So welcome to 10-minute design. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It kind of does. 10-minute design chats for crafty people. Without further ado, let's get started. Now I'm going to be using a timer, okay? But I'm not going to time it today. I am going to time it today, but I am not officially starting it because there's a couple things I want to talk about before we get in, because every time I do one of these chats, I'm going to be talking about design. And design doesn't work in a vacuum. So many things are working at one time to make any given project work. Now today I'm going to show you both scrapbook pages and cards. So what I'm hoping to communicate with today's chat is that, you know what, design is design. There is no space that is better or worse. Let me show you some visual examples, shall we? And also, ladies who are leaving comments, if you have a question for me, leave them in the comments. During the official 10-minute chat, I'm not going to look at comments. I'll come in at the end, and if you have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer. So let's take a look at my table, shall we? Here we go. Down to the table view. All right. Now our first visual today, I would like to show you this because, as I said just a few seconds ago, what is a better space for design? This is a square, and this is a rectangle, and these are little pieces of cardstock. And here's the thing. Design principles apply universally to whatever space you're working in. If you're working on a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, if you're working on a US A2 card size, which is 4¼ by 5½, although this is not proportional, do not hold me to it. Design works with the space that you are working with. And I really want that to, sink into your brains, because design isn't some magical secret, although it could be a secret sauce, if you will, to making things look better. So, and by better, I simply mean, well, that's what I mean. All right, we're going to start out with some scrapbook pages, shall we? So I'm going to get my visuals out of here, and I'm going to bring in my first project, and we are going to talk about the principle, which is my subject for the day. First, a little coffee. And I'm going to get my timer. Let's go here. I'm going to bring open the watch. Now, there's a cool timer that's in this little streaming service that I'm using, but you know what? I can't figure out how to make it work properly, so I'm going to hit my 10 minutes, and we're going to start talking. Okay. We are going to talk today about repetition. Repetition is a large principle in design. Repetition is so basic because what does it mean by definition? It means to repeat things. Now, in any design, and we're going to start here on a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, you can repeat things to create, what did we talk about in chat number 1? Unity, a sense of unity, a sense that things go together. So let's get started with this page. Now, you could probably quickly pick out the things that repeat. Number 1, I decided to create a repetitive grid of the same size photo to create this little collage. Everything repeats, everything's the same size. Also, on this title, so this is a cut file, and what you've got repeating here, I just repeated pattern paper around and filled it in here to have repetition. The other thing that's repeating is the color purple, okay? Not the movie, just the color here that you see on this wide margin. And I also repeated one little enamel dot here and one little enamel dot here. Everything here is creating this unified piece based on repetition, right? Kind of see how that works. One of the things that I do is, if I know that I have a paper pad, and I think this is a paper pad, I'm pretty sure that it's Lawn Fawn, some Lawn Fawn papers. I knew I wanted to use it, so I picked my Halloween colors, then I found a color that would repeat in the back, and then I created my grid, and this is all about repetition, and it's all held together beautifully. All right, let's get another scrapbook page. Before we move on to cards, I'm going to show you this. I figured if I'm doing kind of a Halloween theme, I might as well continue. Now, this is a picture that's quite old. I think this was taken in 2010. Yes, a decade ago. I will bring it up a little here so you can see. That is a Halloween costume that I have had since I was 20. My mother made it for me. It's made out of felt. It feels terrible, but I digress. On this layout, and both of these layouts that I'm showing you today were in Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, I have got repetition to help hold this together. Top and bottom, got a little bit of ink blending right through a stencil, and I believe this is a honeybee stamps stencil, this little honeycomb beehive, and these are also little honeybee stamps, bees on each side with the little cute squirrely tails. These two things repeat to hold my focal point together. And then on the side, I have the color yellow repeating, and I have the color black repeating. So we're framed out in black. We're repeating here in black. We've got a little bit of yellow cardstock. This, I'm 100% sure this is all Gina K cardstock. And then Gina K, what color? Sweet corn. This is sweet corn ink, sweet corn cardstock. Again, this is how you frame things, hold them together by repeating things. When you repeat things, it reinforces the theme, if you will, the feel, if you will. It reinforces that things go together. Now, this is not a very complicated design, but you can kind of see that, right? 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11, no big whoop. Where are we at in time? All right, we're moving on. I'm going to go into cards now, and I'm going to bring in my first little card here. And let's see, I have the ability to zoom in, so I'm going to zoom in. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay, this is a very simple square card, and this is really basic repetition. Of course, what we've got is repetition of shape. These are just some stars that I believe I embossed. I used some gold embossing powder and then just die cut stars using some, pretty sure these are waffle flower stars or Simon. And then I put this in here and I repeated gold foil. This is from Gina. It's the sweet mango foil. And then I also repeated the foil on the background. So in card making, there's always a bunch of ways that you can take the things that you have and repeat them. And I think my neighbor is now hammering. I have no idea what's going on. So if you hear a hammering, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you can kind of see how this ties together. Let's bring in another card. Oh, and the other thing that repeats, that nice framing margin space. All right, we're going to bring in another card. Now, I just did this card for a project that I shared on my YouTube channel. And again, once I have all this stuff edited and uploaded to YouTube, I will provide links where I can source anything that I've already done. Now here, I'm not repeating the same shape, but I'm repeating a style. And I think this is really important, especially for scrapbooking, because if you have a style of something that you've done, you can repeat. Now in this stamp set, these little alcohol cocktail drinks, what have you, are all the same graphic style. And so these have been repeated in a line to create the message that says these all go together. Now, of course, this has unity, right? Because it's all, gathered together. And then I've repeated sequins, also just to create a unified whole. And it's through repetition. All right, I know it's fascinating, but it actually is. It actually is because it helps me. Oh, sorry, I just hit my microphone. It helps me when I am designing. Now, this is a card project that appeared in Scrapbook and Cards Today. Again, more repetition. And if you look here at the bottom, sometimes you'll have a product that has repetition built into it. So this little edge die just repeats these flowers and these leaves. And all you need to do is fill in with cardstock, right? I decided to repeat some sequins here just to kind of create this anchor area of the page. And the other thing that repeats on a project like this, white cardstock, white emboss, or actually, no, is that one of my, oh, that's a sentiment strip. See that? Those are pre-printed. Again, things that repeat create this whole unified feel. So this is really just a simple crash course in repetition, right? This isn't anything, well, how do I say? This isn't anything perhaps that you don't know. Let's pan out a little bit, shall we? I wonder if there's a smooth way to do this. I don't know. We're going to come out a little bit here. But yes, I wanted to show you these in card form as well, because any stamp that you have, you can repeat. Any die shape that you have, you can repeat. Any technique that you have, for example, let's go back here. You want to do a little bit of ink blending through a stencil, then you can repeat that, and it also ties everything together. So repetition is really a way that you can take all these wonderful, crafty things that you have and use them again and again and again. And it makes sense, right? All right, let's see where we're at time. Okay, 2 minutes, 39 seconds. Now, I will tell you what's bothering me right now. I always tape my card bases closed when I'm working on them. There we go. Okay, stay nice and flat. So repetition is really a simple technique in design. Anything that you have, you can repeat. Oh my gosh, it's 4:20 today? I didn't know about that. That my son probably likes that day more than I do. I don't know why I said that. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry, Brenda. Okay, so again, trying to keep this all nice and smooth and streamlined. But that is the basics of repetition. Now, here's the thing. Every week, I want to come on and do these design chats, because the other thing that's going to happen is that isn't the only thing that is happening, right? So on a project like this, last week we talked about unifying everything with unity. Everything here is gathered in the center and has a direct relationship. Here, this card project also has some unity happening because each of these stars is somehow connected to the center content, again, creating this sense of unity. This card project here, all of these things at the bottom, they really bring your eye down. So I thought the placement for the title should be more towards the bottom of the card, again, to create sort of this unified, anchored feel for this particular card project. So that's repetition. And again, I am going to be talking about things like this every week because it's not just repetition, right? Let's see here. Again, this guy here, when I bring my beautiful back in, and by the way, again, I'm going to add links to my YouTube video so that you can access this. I believe this is a free download. I love Halloween, so you're going to get Halloween things from me. But again, this too is all about unity because everything here is very purposeful, right? It's all hanging together, and it is framed out with this beautiful white and then purple, which is also considered white space because there's nothing in it. Beautiful margin. And that is 10-minute design chat number 2. Look at that. 21 seconds left. So as soon as the official time expires, I'm going to ask you guys some, I can open it up for questions for like 5 minutes, and then we will move on. All right, let's go back to my face. Hi there. How'd that go? Streaming fine? Looking fine? Okay, all right, there goes the timer. I'm going to hit stop. And now, if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer. And also, if you have any requests for, things that you'd like me to cover specifically, specific design challenges that you have, you can always send me an email directly at Cathy@cathyzielske.com. Or, you can just leave a comment below because I am going to go back through this and watch the comments. Okay, now let's see here. I also want to, let's take you off here. I also want to turn this on. If there's anything that you see in today's or this edition of the of my 10-minute chats, design chats for crafty people, and you create something, tag it with CZ Design Chat. I'm fairly certain that is that's the handle. I didn't check it before I went live, but I'm pretty sure it is. Tag me with this, and then I can see what you're making. People did this last week, and I was able to see what card projects they created based on talking about unity. Now, let's get a question up here, because this is fun that I can do this now. Is the Miss You a die cut, or did you use your silhouette? Well, I'm going to come back here. Let's go back. I'm going to answer that question. It is a die cut. That is a die cut. Most of what you see on my card projects, those are all metal dies. And this bad boy here, I cut that with my silhouette using a cut file. So that is the answer to that question. Thanks, Pam. All right, let's see here. How do I get these out of there? Okay. And all right, early morning here, and the sun is coming up. Corey, are you Antipodean? Is that the proper word? Are you over in Australia or New Zealand? Thank you. Okay. Anyway, any other questions that you might have, I'm happy to answer. Excuse me. I think what is needed right now is a little bit of coffee. And the other thing is too, again, if you're watching this on replay, be sure to leave me a comment, ask any question you want. I'm really just sort of ironing out the bugs of what I want to show and what I want to talk about. I want to pick big overarching topics each week, show you some samples, and again, challenge you to take anything that you saw in this video and the idea or the principle, if you will, of repetition. Oh, Honolulu. Oh my goodness. Hello. Aloha. And apply them to whatever you're creating. So if there are no other questions today, I think I will wrap it up. And again, I hope this worked out pretty well. I'm going to make a point of promoting these at least 12 hours in advance. It's pretty easy to do now that I have this new streaming software. And so hopefully this can be a weekly thing and we can chat and we can learn. And that is my goal with 10-minute design chats for crafty people. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you back here with another chat soon. I can figure out how to end it. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.